There were so many moments after the fact that I looked back and I thought, I wish I had known this. I wish I had done that differently. I wish somebody had done this differently for me. If you've had a birth experience that left you feeling hurt or confused or angry or sad, this video is for you. You're not alone, and there is space here for both your strength and your sorrow. Let's talk about what it means to make peace with your birth story, even if it didn't unfold the way you had hoped. I've had 5 births. My most recent one, I was at home. It was just me and my husband and my doula. It was short, it was unmedicated, it was basically almost pain-free. It was fear-free for sure. Even after this ecstatic, wonderful experience where I had a golden 2 hours with my baby, there were still surprises in that birth experience. He came out really fast. So I didn't have time to apply the compresses that I had sitting in the crock pot warming. I had tried to keep him from coming out too fast, but it didn't happen, and I tore. I didn't honestly experience it in a way that was very painful, but I did end up deciding to go into the hospital to get checked out. I had a 3rd-degree tear. I had to face significant fears going into the hospital because of previous experiences I'd had with medical professionals. It was frightening for me. I cried a lot. The nurses were super kind. Everybody there was super kind, but I had to face my own fears. So even in really beautiful births, surprises still come. And in different births, those surprises might or less difficult to deal with, sometimes even traumatic. I think there can be a lot of time spent wondering what went wrong. I don't understand. Why didn't my body work right? Why didn't the people on my care team do what we had planned on doing? Why did my baby not get in the right position? Was there something I could have done? I want you to know that wishing things had gone differently or that they had unfolded in a way that would have felt more positive for you, that doesn't mean that you did it wrong. What it means is that you were surprised. And you might think to yourself, well, how the heck was I surprised? I spent time reading. I did take a birth class. I thought through these things. I made a birth plan. How could I have been so surprised? But surprise is actually normal in birth. Even if you have prepared, even if you have attended 100 births, surprise is normal and to be expected. I think that's part of how God designed birth, that we have to give a level of trust. We don't know exactly how it's going to unfold. I want to compare birth to going on a journey that nobody has ever traveled before. You should do a lot of reading, understanding types of terrain that you might experience. You should understand what types of things you should bring with you, what type of team that you're going to bring with you. And you should do a level of physical preparation of your body beforehand as well. You can't know until you get there exactly what way that path is going to lead. And it's a team effort. You have a team that's coming with you, and they're going to do the best that they can and the best they know to move forward on that journey. And you're going to do the best you can. And maybe you could have prepared more, and maybe your provider could have done something differently that could have ended up in a different result. But I think that it helps us cope with the experience to know a surprise doesn't mean we did something wrong. It means we had a normal birth. Sometimes our birth preparation leads us to an experience that feels joyful, on top of the world, ecstatic, redemptive. Other times we're led to a place where we have feelings that are sorrowful. We're grieving something that we feel was lost or taken away from us. Usually there's a bit of a mix. We're feeling joy over the fact that we have our baby here in our arms, proud of ourselves for the work that we did, and we realize that there are things that we wish we had done differently or someone had done differently for us. It's my first time having a VBAC, a vaginal birth after cesarean. It's actually the birth I'm most proud of, the teamwork that my husband and I did. My husband was there for me, being my support that I could lean on. I was doing what I would consider an awesome job of laboring. Toward the end, I was really exhausted because I hadn't been eating and drinking. It was not allowed in the hospital, and I didn't realize that I should probably just sneak some food and drink. I was exhausted, and an unfamiliar OB was assigned to me at this time because my OB was off doing a surgery. She asked me to come down to the end of the table. I thought she was just going to do a cervical dilation check, but she just left me there at the end of the table and would not allow me to get up after that point. And I asked over and over again, please get me up. I was starting to feel a pain that didn't feel quite right, and I didn't know how to tell them something wasn't right. But what I did say was, I'm in pain. I'm uncomfortable. Please get me up. I don't want to deliver on my back. Please sit me up. I don't want to deliver on my back. And I was told no, that there's only space in this room to deliver in this way, which was complete nonsense. That's absolutely not true. There's always space in a room to deliver upright. On my back there, the baby's heart rate dropped. I didn't know this, wasn't told. And the OB gave me an episiotomy without my consent, without telling me. I missed out on immediate skin to skin with my baby. He was across the room while I was being stitched up. I felt like the rug had been ripped out from under me, that this was a really dehumanizing experience. And I was cheated and robbed of being able to make decisions as a human being about my own care and my baby's care. So I was overwhelmed with emotions. I was really joyful that I'd had my first VBAC. I was excited. I was proud. And yet I was sad and grieving, and I didn't even know how to communicate. I deeply wanted to just be happy about this birth. I didn't want to put a damper on my own experience. Honestly, even wondered if it could be considered a natural birth because it had been surgically assisted in this way. I was wondering, did this count? Isn't that awful? But this is the kind of thought that runs through your head when you're an overly hormonal mom who's just given birth. You're super vulnerable at this point. I asked my husband through tears, was this still a good birth? And he said, yes, all of our births were good births. They're part of our love story. It has taken me a while to process what happened in that experience. It's important to realize that, yes, all of your births were good births, and there is space for pain and joy to exist in the same experience. Life is rarely neat and tidy. All of my births were good births. I do believe that. And I do wish that some parts of them had gone different. I had trauma to process around this, and I still have to process just trusting healthcare professionals. Also, all of my births have held strength and bravery and love, and that exists even alongside all the hard stuff. That's what I want for you to know today. Good and hard can exist in the same story. Grief and joy can hold hands, and your births can be good, even if there were painful and difficult memories that existed in that moment. It's good because you gave your heart, your body, your strength, and you met your baby on that day. That's their birthday.